You may have heard of an event over the past year or so called Battle for the Capital. They organized sporting events, high school level sporting events, and emphasized core values of service, responsibility, respect, sportsmanship. And these events were brought about to instill understanding in the sacrifices of veterans serving in the armed forces around the world. This was the vision as it was founded by Mark Soto, also known as Coach. And I have Coach with me right here. Good morning.
Good morning, Max.
How are you?
Good. How are you, sir?
All right. So, Battle for the Capital and Battle for Veterans, one and the same. It started as Battle for the Capital. It was because it was local. Mm-hmm. Before we even get into that, let's get some background from you, because you have some background. You have history here in Sacramento.
Yes.
You also are personally engaged in this because you have two sons in the service. So,
yes.
Tell us a bit about yourself and your two boys.
Well, I've been a high school football coach for 18 years, and as a football coach, and two boys that served in our nation's military and still are serving. I wanted to do something to essentially give back. I wanted to say thank you to my boys and thank you to the men and women that are out there serving our nation and fighting for our freedom. And a bunch of us coaches got together, spearheaded by a phenomenal friend of mine by the name of Casey Taylor at Del Oro High School. He's got a great program out there, and we met at a coach's clinic. And he said, "Hey, Coach, I'd like to get your help in putting on an event for veterans." And he had no idea who he was asking. And next thing we're putting on this huge football invitational, and it has blossomed into something that is just growing across the nation.
So you had like the first game in 2010,
yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And then you had last year's game in 2011. So really, and all things being told, I mean, you could say that you're not even 2 years old yet. You're
right.
barely one, really, if you
right.
think about it.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your sons. You have one in the Army, one in the Marines.
Right.
Let's go for my favorite first, the guy in the Army.
My son in the Army is a sniper in the Army. Served a very hard deployment to Iraq. And when he came home after his 15-month tour, I saw a changed young man. Now I think he's entering his 5th year or 6th year in the Army, and went early enlistment, and he's a recruiter down in San Diego.
Okay, so now he's a recruiter. Okay,
yes.
good.
Yeah.
And then your son, who's in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, he's a School of Infantry instructor,
okay.
and he's out in North Carolina, Camp Lejeune.
Great.
And training Marines, getting them ready for combat.
And he's done his bit as well, serving in Iraq.
3 deployments, one to Iraq, one MU over to the Asia Pacific area, and then a harsh deployment to Afghanistan.
Yep. And conditions there are tough for sure.
Right.
So, Battle for the Capital, back here to Sacramento now,
mm-hmm.
now that we know that you have real skin in the game on this, and everybody does, we all do. But the Battle for the Capital in its own right, as its own event in itself, was successful
yes.
and well received.
Right.
And that will continue.
Absolutely.
And now we were talking about this before. Now you've got a cause, and Battle for Veterans was born as a result, because it's something that we want to adopt on a broader scale, not just the Capitol.
Right, Max.
Tell us a little bit.
Well, Battle at the Capitol was, a football invitational. And what I wanted to do is, because of my boys and articles that had been written up in the newspaper and radio shows and all that other stuff, it elevated our family to a position of leadership when it came to what we're doing as a football coach and my boys fighting for our freedom. So we brought in a military expo. We brought in all branches of the military. We set up a great event there when it comes to the football invitation. We brought in the best high school football teams across the state of California to come and compete. Now it's grown into its own nonprofit, and basically our mission is to work together with veterans and families to celebrate their achievements and build community awareness of their challenges. We're committing, to career opportunities, business and personal development. So our nonprofit has grown into a phenomenal cause that many people are jumping on board with, and the community as a whole. The high school teams, the veterans in our community, the wounded vets, the men and women are all jumping on and really like what we're doing in regards to a combination with high school sports, a combination with employment solutions. people like you, Max. The nonprofit is growing rapidly, and we're expanding across the nation.
And you guys just opened or launched a new website, battleforveterans.org.
Yes.
And I'm looking at it right now, and it's excuse me, it's fine looking. It's got a really nice presentation to it about it. And in here, you mentioned some events, not just on the website, but also in your presentation packet when you guys present to have enterprises help sponsor and perpetuate Battle for Veterans. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about some of the events that are coming up this year.
I'd love to. We have a Memorial Day event with the River Cats. We're going to be 3-4 days at River Cats Stadium celebrating our veterans. We have our Evening of Honor event where we're bringing in a keynote speaker, and not only here in Northern California, but down in Southern California, our Football Invitational and Evening of Honor is going to be expanding in 2 regions of California, and that's going to be an amazing event. And then we are doing a marathon at the end of the year with the California International Marathon. It was a world-renowned marathon, and we're going to be bringing wounded veterans here, and we're going to be kicking off the marathon with a wounded veteran run for a cause that we're calling Battlethon.
Battlethon, nice, Battlethon. Yeah. And that's on the website too for anyone that's looking. Let's talk about what's coming up right here in the foreseeable future for Memorial Day, the Military Appreciation Weekend with the Sacramento River Cats, baseball. You talk a little bit about the event schedule, about how this has got organized and what's in store for veterans that might be interested in joining.
Absolutely. Tony Asaro, who's the community development guy for the River Cats, is a good friend of mine, and he's been in our events and has been involved with them as a sponsor. And basically, after talking with us and learning a lot more about our program, he's a wonderful wounded veteran advocate. And he came to me and said, "Hey, Coach, what about if we did something with the River Cats and we, brought in wounded veterans and flyovers and national anthems and set up booths in the concourse, and let's do a phenomenal Memorial Day weekend to say thank you to our veterans." And so we're going to be doing that.
That's for all 4 days, for all 4 days of the series versus the Reno Aces.
The Reno Aces, correct.
It sounds like it's going to be fun. So if you are interested, if you're just out there and you want to participate in this, you can go to rivercats.com to buy tickets.
Correct.
If you're a veteran and you want to participate from a veteran standpoint, should they contact you at Battle for Veterans?
Absolutely. Coach at battleforveterans.org, and I'd be happy to introduce them to what we're doing.
That's coach at battleforveterans.org is his email address. I'm on the air with Coach Mark Soto. And where are you from? You're coach for which school? Who do you coach now?
Well, I'm retired now.
Oh, you're retired. Oh, so you can't put a pitch out for your boys to get them up to snuff for practice tomorrow.
No. It's after 18 years of coaching, I miss it when the smell of grass starts permeating like it is right now. I want to get out there, but it was time for me just to start growing.
You look for an excuse to cut the lawn at home,
I do.
just so you can get a fix. So this year we're having you have 2 football invitationals. Last year there was only one, correct? That was down. Was it down in Westlake?
No, it was over
here in Sacramento. But the one
in
2010, it was in.
No, all events have been here at Del Oro.
Okay. But no, so now this year you're going to have one in Westlake.
That's correct.
And one here in Sacramento.
There's a great story behind that, Max.
Tell me the story.
Man, Westlake, when I was starting to, recruit teams for our football invitational, I reached out to Coach Bankert at Westlake High School, and they had just lost a young man that was on their football team, a highly recruited individual that decided that he wanted to join the military and serve our nation. His name is AJ Castro, and he stepped on an IED and was killed instantly. His dad is a director of football operations for Westlake, and they heard about what we were doing up here in Sacramento, and we reached out to each other, and they they raised their hand and said, we want to be involved with this thing. And to make a long story short, what happened is they came up here and played Del Oro High School, and both those teams ended up going and playing for the CIF championship.
Okay.
Last year when I was talking to Coach Bankert, he said, man, Coach, we'd love to take this down to Westlake too and do what you're doing down there. So this year we're going to be in Northern California with a large football invitational here, August 23rd, which is week 0, high school football. And then week 1, we take the whole show on the road with the military expo, the flyovers, the parachute drops, the wounded veterans, down to L.A. So we're really excited about that.
So the Sacramento event begins on Thursday, August 23rd.
Yes.
With an Evening of Honor. Correct. And tell us a little bit about that specific segment, about what the Evening of Honor is meant to encapsulate and kick things off with.
We want the community and the athletes to know about why they're playing. So what we do is we bring them together in a large auditorium, and we have a great keynote speaker come in. We got Stu Weber coming in, who's a Green Beret Vietnam guy, phenomenal speaker, many books out. He's going to be our keynote speaker up here in Northern California. And then we invite the athletes and the community and the sponsors to come and be involved and hear wounded veterans tell about, their cause, what it was like with injury, and where they're at today. And then we have Stu Weber talk about what he's going to be talking about. And then the football invitational starts on Friday and Saturday.
Nice.
So it really kicks it off great.
And you got several games planned, 3 games each, 4 games in some cases. So you have Franklin versus Thousand Oaks, junior varsity, and varsity. Then we have parachute demonstration is in the plans.
Yes.
And then Del Oro versus Oaks Christian.
Absolutely.
That's varsity, and that's the evening game at 7:30.
2 of the top high schools in the nation.
And then on Saturday, Roseville versus Bradshaw Christian, Lincoln versus Antelope, Del Oro versus Thousand Oaks. Are there any classic clashes here where the teams are just notoriously? Any of these that somebody doesn't want to miss. If you could only pick 1 or 2, what are the 2 that you wouldn't miss out of any of these?
The 2 that you don't want to miss is both the Friday nights and the Saturday nights games, because on Friday night we got Del Oro versus Oaks Christian and Thousand Oaks versus Franklin, which are great teams and are highly ranked in California. And then on Saturday, we have Battle of the Badges, which is a Placer County versus Nevada County sheriff full contact football game.
Right.
And that is a lot of fun to see. The stadium is packed for that. And directly right after that, we have Granite Bay versus Westlake on Saturday night. It's going to be packed.
It sounds exciting.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Then the next week, like you said, you take the whole show on the road, uproot everything, take the stadium chairs, the whole deal.
Everything.
Plant it down in Westlake Village outside of Los Angeles.
Right.
And that all begins on Thursday, August 30th. You have another Evening of Honor
down there.
Same
Correct.
deal. Mm-hmm. And then you have, is this correct here, Francis Bing West?
Yes.
Is the keynote speaker for that?
Yeah, Bing West is a Vietnam War veteran, amazing speaker, columnist. He's an author, just a great Marine. So we're going to have him speaking down there, and then kicking off the Evening of Honor down there. And then the football teams are all coming in from the state of California to play 2 days of football down there.
And there you got Westlake versus Alamany, Oceanside versus Oakdale, Westlake versus Del Oro.
Rematch
look at that. They're going at it again.
Yes.
Simi Valley versus Elk Grove. So you have some You have some teams that are hitting the road to go down south. Roseville versus Westlake, and Oaks Christian versus Granite Bay as well. So out of that series of matchups, what are the 2 that you would be like you don't want to miss?
I got to tell you, buddy, the games are so great that you don't want to miss any of them.
High school football is cool like that. There's a lot of passing. It's fast moving. I've been to live NFL games, and it feels slow. I almost prefer to watch football on TV, but high school football is a completely different animal.
It's just the community, the cheerleaders, the bands, everything, the whole ambiance of high school football, the hamburgers, it's just a lot of fun, and to get the community involved with this event the way they are, with the student athletes coming in and saying, Coach, we have never played in anything that's been so inspirational.
Yeah. I
can't even tell you the emails that I've gotten from coaches that have said, thank you for letting us be in this thing, and please invite us back.
For sure. So that encapsulates the core of what began as Battle at the Capitol, has now evolved into Battle for Veterans.
Correct.
And Battle for Veterans now has adopted some causes, and I know some of them are, I guess you could argue, are still in development. And so we'll be on the QT with that, top secret stuff, And, the CIA only wishes they had what we have in mind. But there are some things there are some initiatives coming up, and talk, I guess, in broad strokes about the initiatives that Battle for Veterans is going to take under its wing and really pursue with some vigor here. What's in the works?
Well, we have something that we think is going to revolutionize the way that veterans are hired today. It's an employment solution program that we're very excited about, that we've partnered with some great businessmen in Granite Bay with, Dan Talasvor, Kirk Euler. Very excited about that. And then we have a way that veterans can earn a residual income. It's not any type of multi-level marketing thing. It's nothing like that, Max. It's something that we're excited about introducing to America, that you're going to be helping us with, and we're very excited about.
Exactly. Yeah, it is pretty neat stuff. The thought processes that are in mind here, folks, are pretty interesting, and for veterans that are out there in the marketplace looking, and for those that are dealing with, they're taking Nick Palmisano's advice from the last segment to heart about the things that he was talking about, all very valid. We've been working on some things here that I think are pretty exciting as well. So just be patient, because we're almost there.
We're almost there.
Don't you hate saying that to people? Almost there. Are we there yet? So again, battleforveterans.org is the website.
Yes.
You are the executive director and founder, and your email address again is
coach@battleforveterans.org.
Anything else that you want people to know? If we have anyone in the audience that is a local business potential sponsor, things like that, things that Battle for Veterans needs from the community?
Absolutely. I mean, we do this all through donations and sponsorships. Freedom is not free. And, with my boys' plight and with many wounded veterans that I've become familiar with and friendly with and have grown to love, we can't do this without sponsorship and donations. So any businesses out there or anybody that wants to support us, please help us out.
For sure. And just to give you guys a list to know the caliber of some of the sponsors that are involved in this, we have the Sacramento River Cats.
Yes.
They've pitched in, the U.S. Army, Marine Corps, National Guard.
All of the branches of the military.
Yeah, the Placer County Deputy Sheriff's Association is involved. Greater Sacramento New Car Dealers Association is involved.
Outback.
Outback Steakhouse is involved. The Sacramento Mountain Lions are involved.
Merrill Lynch
is involved. I'm looking at, they've put together a really interesting program. So the, Bank REO, Rabobank is one also.
Rabobank has been a huge supporter.
Mm-hmm. So check them out. It's battleforveterans.org, an outstanding website. They've got a really great setup. Coach at battleforveterans.org is his email address. So start hammering his email.
Thank you, Max.
And give him some, even if you just need to cheer him on, it just keeps him motivated. He feeds off it. He's a coach. Coach, thanks for joining us this morning.
God bless you, Max.
My name is Max Ramsey. You are listening to Veteran Radio.